Alright, take two for the 1080p live stream test. Once again, for those of you that are tuning in, I'm still using my original components in the live stream ring that I've been using before, but obviously with all the helpful donations from people that have been helping me out, we were able to get an Elgato HD60 Pro, which is a PCI Express card that goes into the motherboard, which means that I'm now able to heavily dig into my graphics card and offload a buttload of processing tasks away from my CPU, and that gets handled through the graphics card, and now the encoding task goes through the CPU, and that means that going at 1080p, I'm looking at like 50-ish% CPU, under 60% CPU. So I dropped the quality settings down on the hardware device itself from the best down to mid-range better. It looks good on my end. If anybody wants to corroborate that on their end, I haven't seen that thing drop down from 60. Okay, it just dropped down to 59. But I haven't seen it drop down to 50. I haven't seen it drop away from 60 except for maybe once, which is kind of incredible. I am going to go run around and see what happens when I start like panning the camera and doing crazy stuff, and let me know what happens. So here we go. Moving around, doing fun stuff. Do some parkour. How'd it look? Did it chop itself up? Tigru, welcome. Hi. Yeah, I was going to take it down, and then I got lazy and left it up. I'll probably definitely take it down before tomorrow's classes, though. The quality was great. That's really awesome. That makes me feel good. Cool. Okay, so next thing that I want to test out before tonight's live stream. Are you guys satisfied with the size of the overlay, the camera overlay? Because it doesn't need to stay here. It could move. It also could not have to be there, and I can just switch it midway through. Like if I'm in between rounds, like I can do new scenes. Actually, I could probably make one right now. Let's do overview scene. So like if I do this, so now this can be its own scene, basically, and you can still see what's going on over this way, but I can switch it back whenever I want. Let's move this up. Boom. And then, whenever I want to on my phone, I can just switch that over. Like maybe if it's a, if it's like in between game modes, or if it's midway through, if I'm like doing a respawn or something like that, loading out, I can just switch it over. It's still interesting. Excuse me. It's still interesting to watch. You can still see that overview. Only issue is I won't necessarily be able to switch away to any of the other cameras because I'm not available to like control that. But but I feel like this is kind of cool. I can switch things back in. I can still do like an alert box. Let's see. Add existing. I can still have this. Uh-oh. Center on screen. All right, Destroyer. Yep, thank you for coming. Yeah, you think so? I think I might do this during respawn. Again, it's just going to be an issue to, like, I need to have my phone on me in order to switch things over. But I mean, I'm trying to get better. I'm actually thinking about possibly having like a forearm, like, you know, like forearm mounts if you're like if you're running or something like that, and you can like play music off your iPhone and keep that on your arm, an armband. That's what I'm thinking of. But I need to have the screen facing out to me. I need to have my screen on the entire time, but I think that's fine. I probably have the battery life for it too, in order to keep that going. I'm going to test some widgets real quick. I don't think that came through. Let's try. I think my audio settings are wrong. No, you're on the right one. Testing again. Oh, there it is. Donation. $15. Wow, thank you, Fake John.
This is a test donation for $1.
If only. I feel like I'm gonna put this up here, because that way you can still see what's going on, and there's very rarely going to be people moving around in this corner. I could also probably move it to this corner. Nah, I'm going to keep it over here. I think that also makes sense, because if I switch the scene, then it makes sense that, you know, that was up there. Next thing, do you really want this overview capture here the entire time during streams? I mean, I guess I'm good to test it out today. I don't necessarily want it there 100% of the time, but I don't know. Testing. Okay, I think that sounds pretty good too.
This is a test donation
John,
for
you're
$1.
on a roll, man. Fake John. Okay. Let's see. I wonder if I can actually make that have some opacity. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Filters. Does anybody know if you can change the opacity for different sources, video sources on OBS? I guess technically it would be the same. I'm using Streamlabs OBS, but it's just a skinned version of OBS, so I would assume anything that you can do in OBS you would be able to do with Streamlabs OBS. I'm not seeing anything for opacity. Bandwidth. Nope. Properties? Oh no, that's the same thing I just clicked. What am I doing? What do I want to do here? It's not transform. Center horizontal forest group. No, that's not what I want. I feel like if it were anywhere, it would be a filter. Image mask. That's interesting. What are you? Opacity. What happens if I change you to 50? Oh no, I think this is just a way to add color over. Maybe? Alpha mask, blend, subtraction. I don't know what I'm doing. Alpha channel. Done? No. Blend, subtraction. Let's try you. Yes. We'll do white. Yeah, why not? And opacity. What happens if you're 100? It doesn't do anything. I don't know what it's talking about. Okay, I'm gonna need to do some research on how to possibly change the opacity for certain things. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this image source there for today. For today's battle, I'll keep that as is, kind of see how it goes. Actually, I'm going to pull that up on my phone and see what it looks like when I'm actually over there. I don't think... There we go. I feel like that would be pretty cool. I think one of the other issues that I might be running into eventually is that that is running off of 30 frames per second and this is 60 frames per second, which doesn't necessarily seem that bad, actually. Issues that I might be running into eventually is that that is running off of 30 frames per second and this is 60 frames per second. I don't know, this looks pretty smooth. Oh, it's so tiny though. But I don't want it that much bigger. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I'm going to leave it as is. Energizer MC. I don't know, man. It might be a tie right now between my Sentinel, my Busby Sentinel, but obviously modded, and the Spring Thunder. I'm going to be using Spring Thunder tonight. I don't know if I'm going to use my... I'm not going to use it. I don't know if I'm going to use my Sentinel tonight, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Laptop had a strange aliasing on it. Oops, I'm going to turn this down. Oh, what do you mean that was the outline of the laptop in the closet? So, I mean, obviously I've dropped this down. It's like, it's pretty low. So this, I don't really know. I think that technically the feed for these cameras is 1080p, but like, I mean, the cameras on them are not that great. It's a super low bit rate. I think the quality itself, they probably only record something like, I don't know, maybe like 20 to 30 megabits per second. Nowhere near the quality of this camera that I've got running. Yeah, I don't know if that's something I can fix. Oh, I gotcha. Like, you see the aliasing right now on screen. Like, that image, that line that comes through is doing some weird oddities. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. So let's see if I go to my capture device. I go to configure video. It probably doesn't do that because... Oh, this is weird. Okay, so I just opened up my hardware settings, and it's saying, but like, I don't know if I can trust this. It's saying that this is 640 by 480. What happened? Well, all right, let's see what happens when I do that. No, it's still staying around 60. Greehouse, what up, dude? Let's go back into these settings. I know that I'm able to change the anti-aliasing of this. I don't remember where that setting is found though. Voop, 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 voop. Moving camera around. It's dropping a lot. It's saying it's dropping to like 54 frames per second. I don't know if that shows up on the feed on your guys' end. Happens if I... Oh my god, what did I do? Oh, everything is wrong. What is happening? Okay, I fixed it. Dim random, do you know what this means? So it has something called buffering. It has something called buffering. Again, these are all just like testing out random settings, figuring out. So just so that you guys know, I see this drop down to 51 frames per second on my screen before going back up to 60 frames per second. Oh, I gotcha. Is that a good thing for me to enable, or is that a bad thing for me to enable? Okay, alright, I'm going to turn that off. Let's see. So like when I bring up this screen, it says that I've got the Game Capture HD60 Pro, and normally this says 1080p, or like 1920 by 1080p 60, and right now it says 640 by 480. Kind of doesn't seem that way, but... Gotcha. Do you think that I should keep the buffering enabled, or should I disable it? Because I've never used it before, so I don't know if that's an issue in any of my past streams. But again, that would be something that you guys would have to tell me. It shouldn't be. So what I've got going on basically is I'm using my Surface to pull in the video feed from the NVR, the security feed NVR, and then that outputs through the NDI protocol to my my internet, like the same network that I'm on, and then that allows my computer to pull that in as a new video source, and that's what's displaying up there. It shouldn't affect what my game capture card says at all. And I've even changed the profile to HD 1080, but it's not fixing this number right here, which is I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. This was checked before. It said convert standard definition input to 640 by 480. I don't know why that was there. I don't know why that was clicked beforehand. I will also say I've got less features when I'm using this through when I use this through Streamlabs OBS versus obviously like Elgato wants you to use their own systems and their own protocols. I wonder if it's lagging because I have the preview up. I'm going to switch away from it and see what happens. Okay. I find it weird, though, that some of you wouldn't be experiencing lag. Like, I'm literally watching my frames per second, and it hasn't been at 60. It just now went up to 60 frames per second, and it was at, like, 50. It was at 50 frames per second, probably for a solid 30 seconds. So I feel like there should be some amount of lag associated with that. I see it down at 48 frames per second right now. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch away from this again. So I'm going to switch off the stream. I'm going to go back into the hardware settings. I'm going to switch, and once again, I'm going to downgrade the quality on the hardware side. That's because of how the timing of streaming works. Oh yeah, I know. Okay, I gotcha. I think I'm gonna drop it one more time. I'm gonna drop the quality again, and just to like see what maybe if you guys want to let me know if you can actually visually tell the difference in quality between what I started with the best quality versus, like, I'm on mid-range quality right now. I'm going to go down and drop it all the way down. I'm going to see what happens when I do that. I will be right back.